Hey guys, welcome to UKPM Survival and Outdoors here on YouTube and this latest UKPrepperman video. We're at Church Farm for this year's Pyners Preppers 2025. Stay tuned. So here we are in another video. Thank you for joining me. It's the first time you've stumbled across my channel, then welcome. It's all about prepping, survival and all that jazz. So if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to check out the other videos on the channel. And if you like what you see, please like, share and subscribe. But without further ado, here we are back at Church Farm for this year's Pyners Preppers. Once again being organised by Caroline and Nigel. And a good week ahead is a promise because the sun is shining, the birds are singing, everybody's chilled out. We're seeing lots of newbies arriving as well, which is, well, it's good to see because it's all good catching up with old faces and reliving some previous memories, but seeing some new people coming along and joining the community and learning and sharing, you know what, that's what keeps this community alive. And networking is where it's at. Everybody, I believe, has got something to bring to the table, and you know what, one person doesn't know it all. You can't have one big I am and everybody else following along. Everybody can join together, and that is where it is at. So the plan for the week ahead is that we're going to be doing some demos, we're going to be having lots of chat, and you know what, I'll take you along and show you around. So there's some good setups being set up already, each to their own. Everybody's got their own idea of their setup, and what works for them works for them, and it's nice to see. It gives you lots of inspiration as well. So everything from small tents to these great big roof tents, pretty impressive. So yeah, I'm going to take you along. So I've always said how many times, folks, options and choices. Back soon.
It's a light or smouldering already. It's 10 leaks now, so we'll stop. These are just the scraps I had left in the bottom.
Yeah, it's been hanging too long. It brings another thing into stock. Skinning, you need to get it reasonably fresh, otherwise the hair don't come off.
Yeah, we've got about it.
That's a nice tail on that.
Let's go, Stu. Gary. I thought you said it was a female.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. Oh.
You just want to kind of work your way around the carcass.
Preserve it and then make a cube.
How much, how many pounds or kilos of meat will that animal produce once it's been butchered?
They're only small, so you're only really going to get off the haunches, off the loins and off the shoulder. Quite lucky because this hasn't been shit on the engine room. This was a nice clean headshot by the look of it. But you take it, he's wiped out most of the neck. So you get a nice, you can stew the neck. Weight in kilos.
Or more importantly, how many burgers are you going to make for us?
Well, I'm hoping to get about 50 burgers. 100 sausages
Out of 3.
out of 3. As you can see, with puffing and panting, it brings another thing into stock. The most important thing, and it's very, very often neglected, is your personal fitness. Yeah? Because you've got to remember that you're in a survival situation, you'll be operating under reduced calorie intake. The weather will play a huge thing, and when you're tired and you're fatigued and you're trying to do something like this, you're working with sharps, injuries and all sorts of other things, yeah, all due because you're not fit enough to stand up here for any prolonged period of time to do anything that's worthwhile. So it's always worth, you know, looking after your body. Sit down for a bit.
Nice clean tea towel if you get some grip on that.
I think if people knew where their food, people were educated about where their food comes from, they would appreciate what goes into the production of their food.
Get it, please, mate.
I know, but I wouldn't.
No, you're not a very good vegetable person.
This is what I've heard about parsnips. Oh, you love them.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Hey, nice one.
Round 1.
Ain't you washing up?
So what you can do with that now is you can let that stretch it while it's like this. Yeah, so nice and stretch it. Hammer it down onto some plywood. Scrape it. Salt it.
Get as much of the meat off as possible.
Get as much as the meat off. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a tanner by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, and then in a survival situation, if you needed to patch your clothes or whatever like that, you know, or warm your gusset.
Come over.
There she is.
Yeah, she did actually say.
In her undressed state. Got some lovely backstrap out here.
Looked up.
You've got your haunches, you've got your shoulders, you've got your neck, and then on the inside, although they are very, very, very small, you've got the tenderloin. They're just absolutely, it's absolutely beautiful meat. And now, follow that seam along. Here comes here. Follow that seam along.
Might get burnt.
I've got, I can see, I've got good view. Yeah, good vision. You should take me camera.
Shoulder.
You're cutting through a bone there, are you?
Yeah, well, separating the bone.
Sometimes
Can you do it with a knife?
Not this. Some haunches.
Can that be eaten?
Yeah, you can. There's a bit of meat on there, so you can just rub some salt and pepper on that, bit of oil, sling them on the grill.
Or for a friendly dog?
Or for a friend, or stick it in the stew pot.
Go to for your feet out.
No, that's take that.
In my leg, in my chair. Yeah, that's a little bit over. That's it.
Oh, I've got a little bit.
Yeah, fine.
unfortunately, we move around that fiery ball in the sky, so the enemy, as I like to call it. Worse. Their only predator in this country is us.
Here is by its teeth. And they don't grow back, so the more worn down they are, the older the deer is. And what happens is the teeth wear down so much that they can't feed, they starve to death.
Yes,
Pretty much. Is it two foxes you feed now? But the other way around.
Well, one of them's buggered off now.
Alright.
But the boy one comes back. I call him Cat Killer.
Cat killer.
Yeah, I saw him chasing a cat. But then he seems to get on quite well with it now.
Maybe they were only playing.
I think he might have bit like all the other one.
Well done.
Well done. Thinking all the rest of them under there.
Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
No, it's been watered down so much. Yeah.
Prepared earlier. That literally goes into the radio. Like the plate I prepared earlier. There we are. These are pre-tuned. That literally goes in there. They've got a horizontal side pole. Total length and tenor length and 6.4 element length. So do that scrap piece of coax. Just go strip enough off. Hold it back, the braid back, so you've got enough to take the wire to. folded, that extra piece isn't there. A lot of people turn their antennas, the wire antennas, by folding it over. So that now
just makes it shorter.
that is still top to bottom, not counting that little piece. RF is funny, it's not like electricity. You can measure an antenna with a multimeter, not dead short. An absolute dead short. RF knows where it covers a different path. So if you've got one of those, that will just slot in straight away. I'm going to have to do a little bit more. Now is wrapping the braid round one of the legs and bending it over. Tape, you can use anything just to hold it. Stop the two taps. You now got a dipole antenna again. So just take that one up in a tray. You can go as high as you Then I've got an adapter on my antenna man, and I thought that will take that. If you're doing it for a handheld, you would need an adapter like that.
Yeah, that's all.
And one of those which people normally have anyway. You get that come with the Nano, but these you don't. I'm only doing it this way rather than the smaller version, so you can see it and how it works. That plugs into there. That's how telling me where it's to, if you can see it, or you can come closer. Like that. Like that, and I chop that one. Getting better in a minute. So I need to cut a little bit. It's easier with the Nano rather than through the laptop because it updates live.
Right,
I'm having to click get data every time. That's actually tuned now. So you plug that into your radio and you got the same. And if you look at it, it's
basically the same as that.
pretty much the same length. Like.
Yeah.
That is how easy it is to get an emergency. You can use Coke can, aluminium, anything you can get your hands on. Got a more complicated one. On a vertical, I'm not going to measure it, but you can do that online. Before you know, you can write it all on a piece of paper and keep it in your kit. I'm just going to estimate it. They're called a flower pot antenna because people put time to a cane when they're in flats, stick them on the balcony in a flower pot. Basically, you need to. Online they actually say take the outer sleeve off a certain length, cut that and spray, so you've only got the centre section.
Right.
So there's an easy way. Cut that and get rid of that braid, you don't need it. And all this can be done with a knife. That electrical wire can work. Roughly 2 metres will be about that long.
What was the other one? Sorry, Nigel? 70 centimetres, the other one.
70 centimetres, but you can do 2 metres as well.
Right, okay.
2 metres is full antenna 19.4, I think.
Right, okay.
I will check. 3 feet total antenna length. Fold that in half and you've got your 2 elements. Literally, this acts as the centre core. Black one on now, so you don't waste what you got actually. Because if you're stripping all this back, you are actually wasting length. And if you've only got a short piece, about an inch. This needs to be slightly shorter than this. And you just find a former. They say 25mm, but it's 9 turns for a 2 metre. Not the easiest thing in the world. Coke cans are probably better. You just do 9 turns, tape it up, keep it in the recoil, take the former out. You can just tape it to a pane in a flower pot. That's a flower pot inside a PVC tube. And if you put, if it's in a PVC tube, on the outside of the PVC tube, you put about a foot or the length of tinfoil. If you wrap that round twice, you'll get 70 centimetres with the same antenna. So straight out work. It's all done through capacitance. And what you need to tune your antenna is the radio likes 50 ohms. So for instance my big antenna has got a 49:1 transformer which converts 2,500 ohms into 50 ohms. So the radio won't blow its coils. That'll do you. That way you can put it down and just leave it. There's no difference now for me letting go of it. radio pickup. That was a short one, but yeah. So yeah. Line to ITC. Be surprised all day today. This one's the best radio out of all of them. If I press and hold down, Bluetooth on.
Oh, okay.
Put Bluetooth on.
Connected to your phone.
Program it out in the field.
Oh, okay.
Program called OD Master. Take the radio, read from radio, write to radio. There's a function on here that allows you to find the local repeaters in a certain range. So if I now connect my radio, select the model, that's what I'm looking at. Both things do it, but they're not, it's not, this sort of software, it's not good. Do it on sharp. In here, I can select back or away from my location I want it. And then if I turn, so now if I select import to, I can then select what channel I want it on my radio. Confirm, and send it to my radio. I'm not going to do it because I've already got it on there. That's how easy it is. So that's how it is. And if you fill that up, open the program, type it all in manually or copy and paste it, it's already done. If you haven't got a tip radio, still have to type in GB7TI into Google to find out what the offset is. So don't tell you what that's So that's the basics of an antenna pretty much. But if you're into like want to experiment, get one of them. That any idea why you want to. You can No, that's the tin with a bigger aerial on it. But yeah, you can use that like two wires going up to the dipole. I have known people to cut one of these up into strips and use one of these. But he was paragliding and he crashed into a cliff.
Oh, right.
And that's all he had on it that was metal. So he literally used the handles and a little bit of the rim and managed to contact his mate. Because his antenna was on his side, and as he went sideways into the cliff, the aerial got caught on a branch and snapped.
Gold Peninsula Barracks.
Well,
That's
the
all
Peninsula
flat.
Barracks is gone, that's flats now. The only thing there
Flat,
now is the museum. That's fountain.
But
I don't know, have they got no, the Gherkin Museum's next door, isn't it?
yeah, I think it is, yeah.
So as Pyners Preppers 2025 draws to a close, it's time to reflect on the week that we've had, and what a week it's been. It's been great to see newcomers who have come along, who've got involved, who have shared, swapped ideas and tips and advice, because you know what, that is where it's at. I said it at the top of the video, you can't have a big I am and loads of followers. You've got to build a community, you've got to maintain that community, and you've got to grow that community, and the only way you do it is by networking, by people getting involved. It doesn't have to be dead formal. You can just have a chat with people, because you know what, not everybody knows everything. We're all here to learn, and by learning we get better, we get stronger, and we can draw together as a community. So big thanks once again, mega thanks to Caroline and Nigel for putting the meet together. Big thanks to everybody who got involved, and that is where the video comes to a close. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Now this is where I say thank you very much for watching, and if you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to check out the other videos on the channel, and if you haven't followed me yet, you can now. So don't forget, you can follow me on the Instagram for regular channel updates along with additional content. And if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe at the bottom. And until next time, thanks for watching, be prepared, stay prepared, bye for now.